Okay, so let's talk about the 5 laws that will get you out of the shitty life that you have right now. Now, if you're going through your day and you notice that your emotions are a bit off, you're just feeling kind of shitty, then there's a good chance that you're not living by these 5 laws. So law number 1 is called the inaction law. And this says that everything in the universe tends towards inaction. It tends towards equilibrium. Now, we actually had a whole video on this, but it got taken down because it went against community guidelines. But you can watch it here. You can go to our website, which is our website, and you can watch the whole video. We dive deep into this inaction law and why it is important and how it affects your everyday life. But basically what happens is that things naturally fall apart. Okay, if you don't take care of your car, it's gonna break down. If you don't take care of yourself, you're gonna get sick. If you don't do anything with your life, well, you're just gonna die. You're gonna rust away. You're gonna fall apart. Everything falls apart. Now, the question is, how do you counteract this inaction law? Well, you do it with action. Okay, action counteracts the inaction law. This is why we always say that you have to take action, you have to be proactive. You have to do something, because otherwise you'll be like, well, things just happen to me. Things happen. No, they don't. The universe is always in equilibrium, always in balance. Nothing happens by chance, okay? So law no. 2 is called the relativity law. Now, the relativity law says that all phenomena are relative. That means that everything is relative. There's no absolutes. Like up or down, left or right, hot or cold. It's all relative. Your happiness is relative. Someone else's happiness is relative. Our perception of reality is relative. Everything is relative. You see, everything is always changing. Even yourself. Even you are different today than you were yesterday. And you'll be different tomorrow than you are today. You're always changing. There's no such thing as a constant. Everything changes. Everything is in flux. So what does this mean for you? What does relativity teach us? Well, 2 things. First of all, it teaches us that nothing is absolute. Okay, your truth may be different than my truth. Your reality may be different than my reality. Your pain may be different than my pain. Your pleasure may be different than my pleasure. Alright? And this also means that you shouldn't judge yourself based on other people's realities. Okay, just because someone else doesn't feel the same way you feel doesn't mean that you're wrong. Okay? So that's one part of relativity. The second part of relativity is that you should never compare yourself to others. Never compare yourself to others, because everyone's journey is different. Everyone's path is different. Everyone's situation is different. They have different resources, different skills, different talents. Comparing yourself to others is like comparing apples to oranges. It just doesn't make sense. So don't do it. Law no. 3 is the compensation law. Okay? And this law says that for every advantage, there is a disadvantage. For every positive, there is a negative. For every high, there is a low. For every light, there is darkness. Okay, this is the compensation law. See, this is how the universe balances itself out. How does the universe keep itself in equilibrium? Well, it has to give for every take. It has to give for every take. For every advantage, there's a disadvantage. For every positive, there's a negative. For every high, there's a low. For every light, there's darkness. For every good, there's bad. For every rich person, there's a poor person. For every winner, there's a loser. For every success, there's a failure. You see how it works? For every plus, there's a minus. So the question is, what do you do about this compensation law? Well, you do 2 things. First of all, you realize that you're not being treated unfairly, okay? Sometimes people think that they're being treated unfairly, when really they're not. The universe always gives and takes. It always keeps itself in balance. Okay, and the second thing you want to do is aim for the positive side of the scale. You want to try to be successful, happy, healthy, wealthy, you name it. Why? Because the universe will give you what you want, but it will always give you the opposite as well. So if you want to be successful, you're going to be successful, but you're going to be unsuccessful at other things as well. It's all about balance. All right, law no. 4 is called the polarity law. Okay? And this says that opposites are really the same thing. Opposites are really the same thing. Hot and cold are really the same thing. Light and dark are really the same thing. Success and failure are really the same thing. Rich and poor are really the same thing. You get the idea? So what does this mean? It means that you can't have one without the other. You can't have light without dark. You can't have hot without cold. You can't have success without failure. You can't have rich without poor. Why? Because the universe is always in balance. Okay? It always keeps itself in balance. And this is why we have the phrase that opposites attract. Opposites attract because that's how the universe keeps itself in balance. Alright, so let's move on to law no. 5. Okay, which is called the correspondence principle. And this is a very, very important law. Probably the most important one on this list. And it says that, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the small, so the large, as the little, so the big. This is the correspondence principle. Now, the way that I like to remember this is that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, okay? So if you look outside of yourself and you see chaos, you see pain, you see disorder, where is that coming from? It's coming from inside of you. You are the center of your universe. Everything starts with you. So if you want to change your outer world, you have to start with your inner world. You have to start with yourself. This is why we always say that you can't change your life until you change yourself. Now, what does this mean exactly? Well, it means that you have to change your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your actions, and then your outer world will change. You see, the correspondence principle works both ways. You can use it to create the life that you want, or you can use it to complain about the life that you have. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say you're in a relationship and you're unhappy in that relationship. Now, according to the correspondence principle, you can't be unhappy in your relationship unless you're unhappy within yourself first. Okay, you can't have an outer problem without having an inner problem first. So if you want to fix your outer problem, you have to fix your inner problem. You have to fix your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, and then your outer world will fix itself. So the next time you're going through something difficult, ask yourself this question. What belief do I have that's causing this outer circumstance in my life? So those are the 5 laws that I wanted to share with you today. Now, if you want to learn more about these laws, we have a whole training on this. It's called the 5 Laws of Life. It is a 90-minute training that is gonna help you understand these laws even better and how to apply them to your life. So if you're interested, click the link below and check it out. I'll see you over there.